Hello and welcome back to Mining Stock Daily with me, Paul Harris. Today we're talking about gold exploration and development in Idaho. And I have great pleasure to be joined by Hugh Agro, President and CEO of Revival Gold. Good morning, Hugh.
Good morning, Paul. Good to be with you.
Likewise, and Happy New Year.
Thank you. It's as we're starting out on a good note here with the price of gold and the outlook for 23.
Absolutely, and Revival Gold starting out very well. You put some news out yesterday. You reported results from 12 of 18 holes drilled in the Haidee deposit area last year at the Beartrack-Arnett gold project. And each hole released intersected above cutoff grade of near-surface oxidized gold mineralization with a highlight of 18 meters grading 1.12 grams per ton gold. You must be very pleased with that.
We are, yeah. This is in our Haidee deposit area. All of these holes are above cutoff grade with the intercepts, multiple intercepts. Of course, the deposit is open in all directions. And we've certainly achieved the objective here, which is number one, to build on our confidence on the deposit ahead of a PFS. And number two, to look for more gold. And I think we've got lots more opportunity to add resource at Haidee.
Thank you, Hugh. Now, you mentioned the PFS. That's, I believe, due around mid-year. So this drilling will be included as part of that. You've already got about, I think, 4 million ounces across all resource categories. So presumably you're looking to update the resource before the PFS as well. What's the sort of thinking there, or what's the timeline?
Yeah, timeline's mid-year, so by the end of June-ish timeframe, we'll have both the resource update, as you point out, and the PFS on the first phase of the project, which of course is heap leach. My target is to see us get about 1 million ounces into that first phase heap leach. And of course, the balance is for a potential mill phase down the road. And we're really excited about that as well, making headway on that. First job is to get ourselves back into production from this brownfield site with existing infrastructure on that first phase heap leach, and results coming out mid-year.
Okay, thank you, Hugh. Now, if you can get that sort of 1 million ounce, does that sort of basically translate into 10 years of production at 100,000 ounces a year, something like that?
We're aiming for 8 to 9 years of plus or minus 70,000 ounces a year from that first phase. Of course, we benefit from existing ADR gold processing plant, power to site, roads. All of that infrastructure lowers capital costs, reduces re-permitting timelines, and of course makes for a less risky project. And as the gold price goes up here, we want to be heading into production.
Okay, thank you, Hugh. You did a modest raise of $3 million right at the end of last year. Can you sort of talk a little bit about that? Is that just to sort of get you over the PFS to fund the rest of the work there and get that document out?
Exactly, Paul. And we had, had some interest at the end of the year from a couple of our key shareholders, and we wanted to top up before going into 2023 and the work program ahead. So without doing a lot of dilution to our share count, which currently stands at 92 million shares outstanding, we wanted to position ourselves for that milestone PFS result for mid-year.
Thank you, Hugh. Last year was, I think by all accounts, and everybody would agree with this, a really tough year for junior gold companies. The market wasn't there for a lot of it. Everybody saw their share prices go down. It was difficult to finance, and on and on and on. As you were doing this financing at the end of last year, coming into 2023, as you mentioned, the gold price is showing some signs of life. What kind of things, what kind of messages were you getting from the market, from investors?
Yeah, I think investors are looking for companies to spend wisely. They are looking to see those companies that can move on a relatively low risk basis into free cash flow, so that they're not dependent on the vagaries of the market. And I think they want to see management teams that are careful with their share count. And on all three of those counts, I think we've delivered. Our finding cost is running at about $5 US an ounce at Beartrack-Arnett. Our spend, we keep in check and really driving towards near-term catalysts. And of course, as I've mentioned already, we do have a relatively near-term production opportunity given the brownfield site and relatively straightforward process with respect to the first phase heap leach. And so all of those things I think resonate with the investors, and they're rallying around the names that they can count on.
Well, your share price seems to have recovered somewhat over the sort of the third and fourth quarter last year, albeit from sort of a very low point. So you've actually sort of ended the year with, pretty good performance, relatively speaking.
Yeah, we have, and I think that's testament to the drill results we've been getting out of our Joss area, where we're intersecting long intercepts of, plus 5, 6, 10 grams per ton gold. Of course, this Haidee satellite deposit we've been talking about on the outset here is an oxide material that's advantageous for the first phase of the project. All of these things, I think, are resonating with investors. We did outperform our peers on all counts, and I think we'll continue to do that. And as the gold price moves here, we get more generalist interest in the gold sector. I think the juniors generally are going to outperform the senior gold producers, and that's where investors want to position themselves for the rally to come.
Thank you, Hugh. Now, I think I would agree with you there as we, in 2023, a better environment for the gold price, and the juniors are probably going to respond better than the bigger companies. But in terms of, broader things in the market, I would say Revival Gold is one of the sort of potential takeover targets in the sector. You've got 4 million ounces growing. You're on the threshold of delivering a PFS. You're in a very good jurisdiction in Idaho. In some ways, what's not to like? So, and I know you've been sort of talking or had engagement and got CAs with a number of different groups. What's the sort of message coming through from them? Where's their thinking at? Not just regarding Revival Gold, but regarding any potential sort of takeover that they're looking at.
Well, there's a real problem in our industry, right? And for the senior gold companies in particular, we're producing at a rate of about 120 million ounces a year of gold globally, and we're only discovering 20 to 30 million ounces a year of gold. So 1/4 of the actual production, let alone permitting, constructing, engineering, execution, all of those things. So the industry's in a bind, and you certainly see that from the technical teams that have been coming out to Beartrack-Arnett and that we speak with. They are looking on the hunt for projects to feed their pipeline. In the corporate office, in the boardrooms, I think there's a lot of caution, right? Some missteps on the M&A front over the last decade, and I don't think any of the senior gold companies, really want to jump out in front of the market, and so they're cautious. And of course, we know what happens when management teams go cautious, underinvest in their assets, underinvest in exploration, sustaining capital, and run the cupboard dry, so to speak. What happens is they scramble when the time comes for growth and when investors embrace growth. I'd say amongst the juniors, intermediates, we're seeing a lot of interest in the collaboration and in consolidation, in building on market synergies. And so we definitely will watch that space in the first half here in our sector. I think generally that's a pretty active place, I think, for M&A in the mining and in particular in the junior gold space.
Thank you, Hugh. What would you think will be the sort of the real catalyst for any of that? Is it the gold price going $2,000 and beyond, and people being comfortable it's going to stay there for a while, so they can look forward to nice fat margins for the foreseeable future, well, longer than the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I think that's it. And as we start to see some of this cash, we're seeing a lot of it already in the margins from intermediates and the senior sector sort of move into the investors' hands through dividends and share buybacks. I think we're going to see more grease to fuel that M&A cycle to come.
Okay, thank you. Now, as a final sort of question, Hugh, what are the sort of main things you want to achieve and you want Revival Gold to achieve this year?
we want to make our investors money. We want to continue to outperform the market and our peers. That's job one. We've got a super community we're working in, so we want to deliver for the community, and the project and project team are all geared up to move ahead with this PFS. I think we'll be armed to make decisions about construction decision, permitting timelines, and all of those good things. So that's how we get there. But our objective overall, make money for our investors, and we think we offer a tremendous opportunity here, trading at about $10 an ounce in the ground relative to our peers. That's still very attractive. We are, as you point out, in the western U.S. state of Idaho, which is a very politically safe jurisdiction to be. We've got a lot of advantages from that, and we're on a brownfield site. So we're not looking at some grand capital that's going to be run away from us with industry inflationary forces or miscalculation. I think we've got a good understanding of the site, the project. We've got the team that's operated this asset in the past. And we've got about 40% institutional ownership here, which gives us a strong foundation from which to fund this project through construction. So milestones ahead, resource update, PFS. We've got some more drill results to get out in the meantime. And a lot of news, a lot of development on Revival Gold over the next 6 to 12 months.
Thank you, Hugh. It's surprising, actually, that very few of the CEOs I speak to actually say their goals are making their investors money. Crazy as it sounds, very few people actually state that. So it's quite refreshing to hear that. I wish you the best of luck with that. Revival Gold trades on the TSXV under RVG and on the OTCQX under RVLGF. Hugh Agro, President and CEO, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Paul.
And that's all for me, Paul Harris. Stay tuned for more from Mining Stock Daily.